thanking you guys for coming. Take the time out of your Sunday to be here. Most of you guys I know. Some of you I do not. My name's Oscar Cardenas. I'm a LMT at the Broadway location. I'm also a MTI, massage therapy instructor here at the Academy of Massage. And I am also working with Esther to build our medical massage program. We have you here today to go over the program with you guys so that we are all on the same page and just do a little bit of training. Everybody knows what is going to take place come January 1st, which is when we're going to be launching this program. Okay. So as Esther said, we've been working on it for the better part, for the majority of this past year. And it's taken a lot of work. We're really excited to bring this to Squalisante and to our clientele. I've already done a training session with the call center. Just want to get the GSAs and the directors together, answer any questions, and go over what is the difference between especially the way the menu was and the way it will be. Okay, so there's going to be some fundamental changes, and a lot of the things we're going to have to figure out as we go along. You know, and we'll always be working together. One thing I want to say before I forget, my email address is oscar.cardenas, CARDENAS @yahoo.com. And if anything, I want you guys to know that if you have any problem with anything, with any questions, anything you'd like to suggest at all, feel free to email me there, and we'll try to get on it as soon as possible. This is going to be an ongoing process, so like anything, you know, there'll be things that we need to work on and continue to improve, and unforeseen things that come up, and you guys are going to probably be the first to see it. So if you ever need to let me know, please shoot me an email there. So we're going to start with today, just going over briefly the menu as it stands. Okay. So right now, Squalisante, we have relaxation massage, we have deep tissue, we have trigger point, and we have specialty massage, along with various hydrotherapies and spa treatments. We're going to continue with the spa treatments and the hydrotherapy. We're going to change up a little bit. Namely, we're considering maybe bringing in some what do you call them again? The saunas, thank you. And so those things are still in the works. But as far as massage, that's mainly what we're going to be talking about today. So relaxation, deep tissue, trigger point, and specialty. Does anybody know? Does everybody know what a trigger point is? Anybody need any explanation as far as that's concerned? We've done. I think we do a pretty good job right now with our training and just letting you guys know what our treatments are and how to direct traffic when you're answering calls and booking appointments. Right? So specialty massage. One thing about specialty massage that I think you may find when you're booking appointments is who knows what, as far as therapists are concerned, right? Who does TMJ, who does headaches, who does low back, who's good at what, right? So that's a lot of what this program, another thing that we were trying to address, right? So in the curriculum that the MMTs, medical massage therapists, have undergone is a 10-class series. So it's 10 classes. It represents 10 years of continued education. LMTs are required to undergo 6 hours a year of continued education to maintain their licensure. It can be in anything. It could be in aromatherapy, hydrotherapy, anything that pertains business law, anything that has to do with massage therapy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be rehabilitative or clinical or advanced massage technique. So although we are required and we do that, we don't really know what all of our therapists have done, right? There's no list that says, Oscar's taking this and this and this and this. So we pretty much go on word of mouth, right? I heard this guy's good, I heard that guy's good, right? So with MMTs, not only for your own referral to your clientele on the phone, but to as a whole to our entire clientele, we can say that we have a group of therapists that have undergone this curriculum of instruction, right? And we can post it and we can stand by it because we know that these therapists have taken all of these things. We know that these therapists are capable of performing all of these services, right? So as from a marketing standpoint, that's something that we want to get out to our clientele. Right? We have a new type of therapist. They're a medical massage therapist, and we're going to post a curriculum. We're going to make it to where they can see it. They take in class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and so forth. What the class focuses on is assessment, and technique, right? So what I mean by assessment is the type of assessment you would do in a clinical setting, in a therapeutic clinical setting. And in there, it's very laid out, it's very specific. Namely, range of motion assessment, ROM, range of motion. Range of motion is just the way it sounds, your ability to move, right? So a big concern for a lot of people that have medical condition is the ability to move, right? Mobility is a big deal. Not only in just restriction of range of motion, but movement in general, getting out of bed, tying their shoes, walking, all of those things, right? Especially as we age, right? So mobility is a big thing, range of motion. That's a big selling point, right? And it's something that we will be addressing as medical massage therapy a lot. Range of motion, right? And then you have like medical conditions, right? And that could be really anything. But namely, it's going to be stress and all the conditions that derive from it. And stress, we mean not just emotional or situational stress, tension. The stress that tension exerts on the body is the underlying cause of many, many, many conditions, right? That's just not me saying it, right? That's clinical research, right? So we have all the histological studies, and we got tons of stuff to back it up, right? So we can say that with confidence. So medical conditions, we already address a lot of them. We have people calling up with sciatica. We have people calling up with former surgeries, fused vertebrae, TMJ issues. So we're already familiar with a large list of medical conditions as we operate currently. So what's the difference? What's the difference between what we already do and what we plan on doing? Right? This is the menu as it stands now, right? Range of motion we don't deal too much with. We deal a lot with the medical conditions. The therapy that we do already is very good. We have specialty massage and it's very effective, right? One issue is, again, who does what, right? So if somebody calls you and says, I have chronic persistent headaches and it's due to a condition in my jaw, who do you know that is capable of working on it? You know who's in your spa, right? This person, that person. You may know who's good in another one spa or two, you know. And the longer you work here, the more familiar you get with the therapist. So we know that the medical massage therapist is proficient in dealing with conditions of the head, the neck, the thorax, the hip, lower extremities, upper extremities, range of motion, and so forth, right? So it's much more thorough, and it's A to Z. That's the biggest thing, is that we know that they, not only are they not just good at problems of the neck or problems of the jaw, but we've taken them through A to Z. So you can refer them to an MMT. As far as assessment is concerned, so another thing that we're going to be dealing with a lot more that we haven't been dealing with is posture. So range of motion, medical conditions, and posture. And so along with a physical assessment, we got Esther purchased iPads for all the locations. Okay. And on these iPads is an app. And it might be a little bit hard for you to see, but there's a picture there, right? And on that picture is superimposed a grid. And so what this application does is it takes a picture of a person, front and sideways, and it gives a measurement to 1/100 of an inch. So it'll tell you your head's forward 4 or 5 inches, your knees are bent 4 or 5 inches, your hip is tilted, your head's tilted. So typically you would have to go to a chiropractor for an assessment as accurate as that. Right? We're able to do now very simply and cheaply, reliably. Right? So what we have is an introductory price to the medical massage program. It's a consultation. It's a $39 consultation. $39 consultation. This is the first part of our medical massage program. $39 consultation, it is 1 hour. Your clients can only book it one time. Okay? We're going to devise a way for you to keep track of that, probably just in the notes, right? In the red notes. Clients received, just put consultation massage and the date, right? So when that person comes up, we see they've had a consultation massage and we can quickly go to the date. And in case we need to, verify or talk to the client about they've already received it. This is a one-time deal, $39 consultation. One thing we were going to do that we haven't really gotten out to yet, and we weren't able to tell you guys too much, was about gift cards. So what we will probably do is redeem gift cards for consultations. So right now we're in the middle of a gift card season. It's been going really good. You guys have been sending out gift cards. Awesome. So one way that we want to channel a lot of that business, because we already know January and February we're going to have tons of people coming in, right? A lot of these people are new clients that we have not worked with before. During the summer, you got your regulars, right? Those are the ones that continue to come in. But a lot of those regulars you gain in January, February, and March. And that carries you on through summer, right? So November and December, gift cards. And we're going to be launching in January, medical massage. So a lot of these people, they're going to be hearing about our medical massage program, and they're going to have a gift card. So we'll allow them to redeem their gift card for a consultation with an MMT. Okay. So there's a lot of aspects to this consultation and the program itself, but tying it all together, how is it going to operate as a system? How are we going to funnel, and how are we going to launch this, right? That's why we're here today, right? What is our objective for the months coming? Okay. So you guys have been doing a great job with the gift cards. And we wanted to be telling them already, right when gift card season was launched out, that they would be redeemable. But we'll get to that. We'll make sure they know. And we'll be using those gift cards for a 1 hour consultation. In that 1 hour consultation, the MMT will be going over their medical history with the client. We're going to have them come in about 10 minutes early and fill out a much thicker, bigger, extensive intake form. In it, they will be providing their medical information, their medical history, and so forth. A lot more documentation, and I'll get to the reasons why, other than the obvious here in a minute. Okay. So, in that, they'll be coming 10 minutes early. They'll fill out the intake form. The therapist will call their client, go back, go over the intake form with them, determine what it is, why they're there, and if necessary, if it's a posture issue, if we think that there's a posture issue or not, or they may just do it either way, they'll do a posture analysis. This is a very quick way to do it. It doesn't take very long at all. Just entering in the information, taking a picture, plotting some point, it might take about a minute and a half. Then the therapist is going to perform any specific tests that are necessary. Specific tests. So for each region of concern, head, neck, thorax, hip, lower extremities, and upper extremities, there is a list of a specific tests. Now, these specific tests I didn't make up. There are the specific tests that doctors use and that physical therapists use. They have names, they have procedures, and they're specific to get a result. So we've gone over the most important ones for the regions, right? The ones we're going to need the most and what they mean. So we'll have the intake form, we'll have specific tests. So say a very simple test, right? Range of motion test. If the person cannot lift their arm past here, well then we indicate that, right? We write it down. We take soap notes, and soap notes I'll get into in just a second, but basically it's notation. You know, what the client is experiencing, what you've observed, what your assessment is, and what your plan of treatment is. And that ultimately is the main difference between the specialty massage we did before and what we're going to do now. Because the consultation results in a plan of treatment. Right? So before we would do a specialty massage, if you came in and you had TMJ or you had a range of motion issue, we would work on you for an hour and a half. And the therapist may or may not recommend more or not. But we've gone over extensively in this curriculum how to formulate a plan of treatment, how to explain what the expected outcome of that plan of treatment is, and typically it is a succession of treatments, right? So $39, you know, in marketing they call it a base price or whatever, but that's not what this is. This is an assessment to formulate a plan of treatment. There's nothing bait or switch about it. You're getting a lot out of it. You're getting an assessment. The posture assessment alone that this provides, acquiring it by traditional methods, it costs quite a bit. Okay. Just that is worth that price. Okay. So, value per dollar, right? We know that things are getting tougher out there. You don't need, nobody has to tell anybody that. We all know it, right? So we need to up the value of our service, right? That's what this is about. And this is a way for us to explain it to people, right? They will be getting treatment in here. They're going to be getting really, really good treatment. But typically, your problem is not an isolated issue. Whatever it is that you've come in and you're complaining about, that's just a part of you that's failing the most. Right? It's typically a systemic problem. So much so that I'm not even worried about the people that come in and they get better in one treatment and we never see them again. It's okay. That's what we're here for, right? We're therapists. Okay. The amount of people that need successive treatment is huge. Right? So they come in and out of our spas every day. Every day. I can't tell you how many people, new clients that I have, come in and walk out and book for the very next week. I'd say, and Michaela could testify, 3 out of 4 of new clients that come in that I've never seen before, and they wouldn't even know they were in pain, but that's not why they're there. They're just there for a massage. They don't have this big old medical condition and tons of specialists and everything. But by doing this assessment, which I do if I deem necessary right now, I just do it. They don't know nothing about consultations or medical massage or anything like that, right? I'm just talking with them and saying, oh, okay, well, you know, just regular old conversation talking about their condition, an assessment, right? Even if they don't know I'm assessing them. And they work out and they book. And not only do they book once, you know, they book again and again and again because I'm explaining what we're doing. They're participating in their therapy. This is therapy, right? We are massage therapists, right? Okay. So this is therapy. This is what we're focusing on. There's nothing wrong with relaxation. You know, that in itself is an extremely effective therapy. This is result-oriented treatment. And the definition of medical massage, if you look it up, Wikipedia comes up, the definition is, what is medical massage? It is result-oriented massage. So if you come in and you're hurting and I work on you and I do a routine and I do a massage and you feel better, that's a result, but it's not a planned result for a specific problem. So if you come in with a specific problem and I formulate a specific plan of treatment for that to get to a result, that is medical massage. That's the difference. It's the intent. It's not the techniques. It doesn't matter what techniques you employ. It's not even about the assessment. It's about the intent and the underlying medical condition. But we're taking it further than that. We're doing very good assessment. And we're using very advanced techniques. Okay? We'll get into the techniques that we're using here. It's a little bit technical, but you guys gotta know it, at least in general, so if you get asked, which you will. So we all know what relaxation techniques are, deep tissue techniques, and trigger point. And these type of techniques that we're using here, again, are what they would use in a clinic, right? What the physical therapist would use. So one would be an articulatory technique. Articulatory technique. Right? Another would be a muscle energy technique. Muscle energy technique. PNF. PNF. It's got a really long name. I'll explain it in a second. And what was the fourth one? Articulatory muscle energy, PNF, and I'll remember in a second. Articulatory technique. Articulatory means to move, articulate something, move it. And what they mean by, when they're talking about articulatory, they're talking about joints. So, articulatory technique means that you're focusing on the soft tissues surrounding the joint. And you're doing it by moving it. Developing a feel for it and doing it effectively is much more complicated than that, but for a short answer, if you're able to say that to your clients, that'll satisfy what they need to know. And if they need to know more, refer them to the consultation. So whenever you have a question that comes up that you can't answer, refer them to the consultation. Refer them to the consultation. You're always channeling everything into the consultation. I can answer these questions, but who could really help you out, and where you can really have your questions answered is in the consultation session. Can I book you one? Okay. So we don't expect you to be able to answer all questions, but at least know what it is that we offer, and be able to refer to the consultation. Because the client is not going to expect you to know every last little bit, so long as you know what you're talking about and you know where they can get better answers. And especially if it's cheap, $39. They'll let you off the hook. They'll book the appointment. Okay. Muscle energy technique. Muscle energy technique is a resistive technique. So, say for like the leg, I would take the leg and I would put it in its mid-range of motion. And I would resist the client either trying to contract, to either flex or extend that part of the limb. So if I put my hand here and I ask him to raise a hand and I'm holding it right there, he's using his muscle energy and I am making him exhausted. So that when I say, okay, relax, I can then go and stretch it. Because his muscles are tight, right? That's what we're dealing with. And I want to break that cycle. So I make him get tired and then I put it through. And it's a very effective way to go from here to there very quickly. Also energy technique. PNF. proprioceptive, neuromuscular, facilitated, stretching. Simply put, it's you're stretching their neurons and muscles so that they can feel them better. Proprioception is your awareness of the body's occupation of space. Where you are, where your arm is, where your leg is, that's proprioception. Awareness of your body. A huge aspect of a lot of medical conditions is loss of sensation. You're using stretching to reintroduce them to their body. Regain sensation. For short, PNF stretching. It's like stretching, but has an intent. You're using stretching, but you're trying to get a different result from it, rather than just release their body. Rather than just stretch them. Myofascial release. Myofascial release. These are the four main techniques that we're introducing as far as hands-on therapeutic techniques what the massage therapist will be doing in their treatment. Okay. Myofascial release. Myo means muscle. Fascial means connective tissue. And release. Sounds a lot like deep tissue or massage, right? But it's different. And it's applied in a different way. Mostly it's very light. And rather than pushing straight down through somebody, you engage the tissues and you go across and hold until it releases. And it's different. It takes a much different feel and has a much different intent. But it's that the short answer is that it's muscle fiber release. And it's gentle. It's pretty much all you have to tell your clients. So that's for techniques, that's pretty much it. Anything more than that, your therapist can tell your clients. Right? That's what's going to be, that's what we're going to be putting out there, that's what we're going to be marketing. Those are the questions you're going to get as far as technique is concerned. I'm going to be printing all of this stuff up. We got cheat sheets coming to show all the answers, right? So all of that right there, we're going to have a laminate spelled out for you with short, nice little answers and everything, just like we have everything else. So right now, I was going to have some of those materials ready already, but I don't. So we'll get them to you as soon as possible. Certainly before January 1st. Okay. Now, how does the menu going to look? How different is the menu going to be? We go back to relax, deep tissue, trigger point, and specialty massage, right? That's the way it stands as now. Okay. So come January, the menu is going to change. We will have relax, deep tissue, coupled with trigger point. It will no longer be a separate option. If they need to do any trigger point, they will do it in a deep tissue session. So the trigger point and the specialty massage options will no longer be there. Right now in specialty massage, we have low back, TMJ, and we have headache. Okay. It's an hour-and-a-half session, and it's $92. Okay. Come January 1st, we're going to have a medical massage session. That's it. It is going to be offered in two ways. a single session of either an hour and a half, or in bundles of an hour and a half. The bundles are cheaper than the single session. There's a big incentive to buying a bundle. A, because that's usually what it's going to take, and B, because it's cheaper. The 6 bundle is $60 an hour. And all of the variations of it are a half hour, it's that same price range. I think the single session for an hour is $72 for an hour. There's going to be an imaginary line right there. Because going forward, right now we have 15 MMTs. 15. Some locations have more than others. I think Keebler has the most. And Broadway is only going to have 2. And I'm going to be working. I'm not going to be there all the time. So we're working on that. We're going to enroll. We're going to start a new class last week of January. And we anticipate that class will be full as well. So we're going to be continually adding to the amount of massage therapists that we have, and maybe we might send a couple, here or there, that will cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, I think we have 4 or maybe 5 at Heber. We have 1 at Broadway or 2, including myself, and we have some at Bulverde, and we have some at Stone. So, 15 therapists. I anticipate that with the gift cards and the consultation, we're going to be doing a lot of consultations. So it should result in these 6-pack bundles, right? Because that's really what they're going to be. That's really what they're going to be recommending. These bundles, these sessions are designed to be done weekly. Weekly visits, not once a month, not once every 2 months. And the objective, the reason for that, is because if, say, for most times, if somebody comes in and they have a shoulder problem, and they can't move their neck, and they have headaches, right? They have all 3 of those together. And I work on that. I can make it feel a whole lot better that day. And you won't have that headache, and you'll be able to turn your head, and you'll be able to move your shoulder. And in a month, it'll be right back to legs. Then they come back in a month and say, hey, I felt great, but I'm right back where I was. And that's the typical pattern we see now, right? With the schedule that we typically recommend. This schedule of once a week is designed to go through the whole body and assess not only the primary problem, but the secondary problem, the third problem, the fourth problem, which is usually a posture problem. Namely and chiefly sitting. We sit too much. And we're not designed to sit for 50, 60 hours a week. That's not what our body's built for. And some of us sit poorly. And there's a long list of problems that happen because of that. And the amount of people that sit is the vast majority. And the vast majority of people that are coming in, whether we have that conversation with them or not, is what they're suffering from. Right? So the resulting malposition of their posture, right? That's what we're going to be treating. So they have a primary problem, they have a posture problem, they usually have an energy problem, which means, what I mean by energy, I mean that they are tired, they're exhausted, right? All of those I can tie into posture and tension. And I can go into all of how this happens through the tissues and connect all of the dots with this stuff. And the therapists are capable of explaining that as well. You guys don't have to. Okay. But that's what we're going to be doing. I don't recommend that you have that conversation with clients. Just from If they have any questions, answer them. If, just refer them into the consultation. You guys, your guys' job is to book the appointments and know where to direct everybody and to at least know what we offer, right? Everything else the therapists will take care of. So don't feel like you guys have to learn a whole ton of stuff. Okay? So that's mainly it. Either it's going to be a 1 session or it's going to be a 6 session. And I know it sounds like a lot to be selling all the time, right? We're going to have them pay more and buy more, and it's a big bundle. It's up to the therapist when he has them in the consultation to prove this bundle worth it. That's what the consultation's for. And if they don't believe it, they can come try it for $39. What they got to lose? Nothing, right? We're going to get them on the table for the therapist. It's the therapist's job to show them why they're there. They're going to do the evaluation, they're going to do the assessment, and they're going to recommend a plan of treatment. They're going to give them a substantial amount of treatment that very first time. Because even if I work on that shoulder and it works perfectly fine when they get up, what they've been doing to get to that point is still their routine, right? They drive a truck, they work out too much, they type a lot, they sleep with their arm on their head, whatever it is. And normally the tension level, like we said, is systemic. Every nook and cranny of their body. So it's our job to correct the posture, loosen them up. And not only that, give the body time to heal itself. I don't heal anybody. If I could, I wouldn't be here. I'd be rich. But I do put the body in a position that it can heal itself. So the body is not capable of doing its job because of poor circulation, because of repetitive stress injury, because of all of these things that have been proven time and time and time again. So what I'm doing is just helping the body get to a place where it can regenerate and reset. And that's what we do with medical massage. And it's very effective. It's very quick. It's very gentle and pain-free. It's not deep tissue. It's not trigger point. We're not really, grinding people out. It's very, very gentle. So those are the things we do.
Do you have any questions real quick for Oscar? Anyone can think of a question you have? Can you talk about the medical chart real quick?
Okay.
Just real quick.
So the intake form, very extensive. Soap notes, right? So one thing that we're going to be doing is soap notes, and this is charting. This is called clinical charting. It's part of clinical charting. It's not all they do in clinics to do charting, but it's one thing that they do. Nurses do it, PTs, and so forth, right? Soap notes. SOAP. So, subjective, objective, assessment, and plan of treatment. So if I wanted to make a couple of notes real quick so I would know what I did last time and what I plan on doing, I would write it in this format. Subjective, what the client says is going on. Objective, any specific test I performed. Assessment, more about what I did for assessing. This is what they say, this is what I say. These are the tools that I use to assess it with. And the plan of treatment. So that's the charting, right? Along with a posture assessment. This is a chart of their posture. This will serve as validation for a large part of the results. And this is going to be, I cannot stress enough how much this is going to help us, I think, and hope, right? But this report, it compiles a report, it compiles a comparison of reports. So each report, it compares to it, and it gives you a report of how you're progressing. So it'll say you're improving at this rate, and you can send that in a PDF to their email, the therapist will. So on the, when they create the profile, and when we take the intake information, we're gonna ask for their email address. And if they ask why, it's so that we can send a report of the charting. It'll send an encrypted PDF to them, a report of the posture, of their pain level, and their progression. They can take that PDF and show it to their doctor. The doctor can then prescribe the treatment, and they can then be reimbursed by their insurance. How many times have we heard, I wish you guys accepted insurance? Right? We hear it all the time. We're not going to do the insurance billing. That's not going to happen. But if we can get the doctor to underwrite it, they can get reimbursed. And if they want something, they can go show their doctor. It's in a PDF, and they can get a report and a consultation massage. So that's a very important aspect for charting. The charting is there so that they can have evidence, not only of coming, not just a receipt, but of the effectiveness of the treatment. Any doctor that looks at that PDF and sees the improvement in their posture is going to know what that means. Any doctor that sees that they had a shoulder surgery and they couldn't lift their arm this much past here for the last 8 years, and now they can do this, is going to know what we did. You don't got to spell it out for them. They're going to know. So they'll be much as the word gets out. They won't have to wait for them to take it to their doctor to show it. The doctor is going to send a card, and they're going to, because they've already gotten PDFs from us. They've seen it. So one big aspect of this healthcare law is that in the law they're mandating that CAM providers be covered. CAM providers, massage therapy falls underneath this umbrella. This is what we are professionally. We are CAM providers. CAM providers means complementary alternative medicine. Massage therapy falls under complementary. And alternative, depending on what type of massage you do. If you do crystal and oral healing, you're an alternative medicinal provider. If you do medical massage, you're a complementary, because it complements standardized Western medicine. So in the law it states that it must be provided by insurance. So if this thing stays afloat, they will be able to be reimbursed. That's going to be a huge market. So this is what all this is set up for. This is all set up to take advantage of the change that we see happening. This is the field that we see it happening in. And this is what we're preparing to do for it. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take a month. Who knows, right? But we're really excited to get started. Good job, guys. Yes.
What about the client that doesn't like a lot of pressure?
This is not pressure. So that's a very good point, because this is not a deep tissue massage. This is, it's not, I'm sorry, that's not right at all.
Is that when you go into the muscle fiber release?
Yeah, this is not, that was wrong. This is very deep tissue massage. It's not a deep pressure massage. And a lot of people confuse that. Deep tissue with deep pressure. They're not the same thing at all. I can get and massage the deepest structures in your body with very little pressure if I am anatomically precise. Okay. So if I take your arm and I start to do articulatory technique, I'm working on the ligaments around your joint. Any deeper than that, and I'm working on your bone itself. I'd be massaging your bone. You can't get any deeper for soft tissue. There's nothing deeper. And if I take it and I work it very lightly and I get it to open up and release, that's deep tissue massage with very little pressure. And all of these techniques are designed to work very deeply with very little pressure. So if they want a deep pressure, they want to get steamrolled, direct them into the deep tissue massage, because they're not going to get it with the MMTs.
All right.
That's not what this is about. This is not about deep pressure. This is about a result. Do you have a medical condition that you need improved? Right? Just an example of, quickly, we shot some testimonials yesterday, a couple of clients of mine, and you guys will be able to see them. But the amount of medical conditions that these people have is very, very serious. The amount of limitation, their quality of life, the result of this treatment is profound and very extensive.
Yes.
And so, very little pressure. As a matter of fact, one of them, I couldn't breathe on him. He was in so much pain. So I had to take him from that to being able to truly massage him and work him as like a normal person. But he was in such pain, his skin was red, his ears were blood red, and he couldn't wear shirts, he was in a lot of pain. And today, he still hurts. I have to see him every week, and he will need treatment probably for the rest of his life. But the quality of that rest of his life is completely different than what it had been otherwise. So I can't fix that. I can't heal that. Those structures that are damaged there, I can't regenerate that stuff. But I can peel away all the layers that surround it, and I can help manage it, and I can get it as little as possible. And he's still improving every single week. So who knows? I might get him to a point where he is pain-free. I may have to keep him there, but typically now he has one bad day a week where he couldn't sleep. It was a lot of time.
Oscar, go ahead and speak about the soap dose and how we're gonna do that, so they know about the charting. What can we talk about?
Okay, yeah. So one thing about it.
Store it.
Yeah. So the profiles for the Posture Mobile app will be stored on here. There's going to be a remote hard drive that this will be able to link up with via Wi-Fi. So what I had thought was going to happen with these was that they were going to be able to talk to each other and share all of the profiles together. So right now we have 6 devices, right? And I was under the assumption, well, not the assumption, I was told that they would be able, that all of that database would be together. They're not. So we're going to have to book these under resources, and they're going to be assigned. So if there's 3 devices at Heatner, these therapists work with 1, these therapists work with 2, these therapists work with 3. Because all of their profiles are going to be only on 1. These devices cannot share the profiles.
Right.
So it's going to be messier than I'd hoped for. But we can work, if we're diligent in who uses what, then we can manage it. Another thing that we're going to have to manage and make sure is that when you book it, you book the resource for the iPad. So if I book a massage for Victor at Keebner and he uses device 2, then I need to book the resource for that. So that means that I'm going to have a list for you guys, so you know who's on what device.
What about,
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
So everybody knows for sure.
Yeah.
Too.
So what we're gonna do for the profile is Victor De Leon, right? And we'll say after that will be MMT 2, and so the 2 means device 2. Okay, so you know he's an MMT, and you know which device he's using.
And from now on, like if we don't have time to
Yeah.
a lot of paper.
Yeah. We want to find the best way to do it.
Well, I think,
That's
I think the best way to do it though too is just whenever they're interested in doing the medical massage, you get their name real quick, find their profile, and we should have like an alert and say like Ronald Estrella, he's iPad 2, so you already know.
We'll put it in the
Yeah,
profile,
yeah.
their
It's
profile,
already in
and
their profile.
so
we have
the therapist will be indicated, and the client will be indicated as to which device he's on, because that's gonna be, as long as we're diligent in it and we're doing it the same each way, we'll know who's where. Because there will be no other way to find him unless I go through all the devices and look through all the profiles and so forth. So I really thought that it would just be one database that they could share, but that's not gonna be the
It's
case.
not about the card, the bundle card.
Which card was that?
Bundle card, we're gonna have a
Oh
bundle.
yeah, we'll have a new bundle card. So
Great.
instead of, because we have one now for the wellness, one for the deep tissue, there'll be one for MST. So when you see it, you know that it's a medical massage bundle.
Plastic card or a paper card, like the health and wellness
Yes.
program or like a gift card?
Like a health wellness.